Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I am the Twisted Jedi, and today's video is going to be part 3 in my movie DLC speculation series. If you aren't familiar with this series, what I have been doing is going back and rewatching each of the Star Wars movies and picking out all of the different skins, maps, heroes, and everything you can think of that might be cool in a DLC for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now today we are talking about Return of the Jedi and what I think could be used from that film for some DLC content. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2 for this series, which were speculations for A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, I'll leave links in the description below as well as cards on screen for you guys to check out as well. Now keep in mind this video is purely speculation out of what could be used from the movie and has not been officially announced by EA or DICE unless stated otherwise in the video. However, if you guys like what you see, be sure to hit the thumbs up and share it around, as some of the right people may see it and we may end up with some of this awesome content in the game in the future. So let's jump into everything from Return of the Jedi that could be used in Battlefront 2. First off, we're going to start with some skins. Now skins are becoming bigger and bigger within Battlefront 2 and are a really cool way to reflect your favorite outfits from the movies. Obviously with Return of the Jedi there are a few skins from this that have already been announced, including the Boushh Leia legendary skin which will drop tomorrow, as well as the Skiff Guard Lando disguise which is dropping at epic rarity also. Another skin that I believe to be confirmed is the Han Solo skin from Jabba's palace just after he is defrosted from Carbonite. He's wearing the white shirt without his vest, or it could just be classic regular Han Solo outfit which is already in the game where it's being used by the bearded version of Han, so they could possibly give us a more nostalgic look with that outfit but just with the unshaved Han. I believe this is what they are referring to in the trailer that we got on the Star Wars show last week when the on-screen text said Return of the Jedi Han. I hope this skin is only at epic level or even rare because I don't think it's worth a legendary status, but nobody knows until its release on Wednesday, and they have confirmed that we are getting 4 new legendary skins later on as well as 1 epic, so hopefully Han is excluded from that and he comes in at rare or possibly epic at the highest. Now obviously when a lot of people think of Return of the Jedi and Jabba's palace, they also think of Slave Leia. As much as 99% of the community want a Slave Leia skin in the game, and they would sell a ton of crystals to people wanting to straight up buy the skin, I don't think it's going to get added. Disney is attempting to turn Star Wars into something for all ages, and that includes video games. They have a much different outlook now compared to what George Lucas's original ideas were, and I think they're just changing it to suit the larger audience. I know there have been rumors and supposed leaks swirling around that they are considering it, but I don't believe anything until it's confirmed by DICE or EA. Anyways, moving away from Slave Leia, as much as I know most of you don't want me to, the next skin I think would be awesome is for Luke Skywalker. Now with the addition of Hooded Yoda in the last cosmetics patch, I feel like it was definitely one of the more popular skins. I don't often see a regular Yoda running around the map anymore because most people are using his new appearance with the hood. So I feel like a hooded Luke appearance from Return of the Jedi would be awesome. When Luke first appears outside Jabba's palace, he's wearing his black robes with his hood up over his head, and obviously now he has his green lightsaber. I would absolutely love to see this appearance for Luke in Battlefront 2, and I'm sure a lot of you guys agree with me. Now next up I wanted to suggest a legendary skin, and it is for Darth Vader. It is his helmetless appearance. We see this right at the end of Return of the Jedi, and yes, it is right before Vader dies. However, the helmetless look could be really awesome in Battlefront 2, and actually kind of scary if you pull a corner and see that ugly mug moving towards you. Right, like it isn't scary enough seeing Vader move towards you anyways, but I just think this would be really, really cool. It would require different voice lines as he does sound different once the helmet is removed, so I feel like it would be classed as a legendary skin, and I know a lot of people would either grind for credits or just straight up buy this skin. Now on top of this, I think for Lando, you wouldn't really expect it and you wouldn't think he has too many outfits other than what we've already seen. However, he does have one that tends to go unnoticed, and that's his Endor appearance. After the Battle of Endor and when everyone is celebrating with the Ewoks, Lando is wearing a light tan long sleeve shirt with a light brown vest and light tan pants. This could be a rare or even epic skin for Lando if you wanted to mix up his other looks, and if you haven't seen it before, definitely check the last scene in Return of the Jedi because that's when Lando is wearing it. Finally, for some trooper skins, I think the obvious one to add is the Celestian skin, often referred to as the pancake face by a lot of people in my live streams. This skin I believe would go with the assault class, and I feel like it's definitely something we will see in the game soon. As for the Empire, I know I have said the Death Star Guard in my previous video. However, this time I am suggesting the Death Star Guard with the closed helmet. These guys actually actually look really cool, and having that as an epic skin would be a nice addition for the Empire. Now, moving away from skins and getting into emotes, I just want to briefly touch on these, even though there are a lot that could be used from the movie. I think the first one I would use is Yoda's quote saying, "When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not." Could be a really cool emote for him, or perhaps even a voice line when he's around Luke on the battlefield. On top of this, I think Lando's cheer when he escapes from the explosion on the Death Star could also be a really effective and simple emote for him. On top of these two, there are a bunch of lines from the Emperor and Vader and all of our other favorite characters, but if I list all of them off, we will be here forever, so instead, just comment your favorite quote from any Star Wars movie down in the comments below. Getting into some maps that could be added, the first one that comes to mind is obviously Jabba's Palace, and we have of course recently had the announcement last week that Jabba's Palace will be returning in the next update. We also got some brief footage of how it's going to look, and it will be available for Blast and Heroes vs Villains, as well as hopefully the newly added Hero Showdown mode, which is of course the 2v2 mode that is coming on Wednesday. Aside from Jabba's Palace, I think that Jabba's sail barge is actually a really cool location, and if they could somehow make a map out of that, it would be awesome. Maybe use it for Hero Showdown or Heroes vs Villains, because it is quite a small location. However, if they could make it work for Blast as well, that would definitely be great too. The next location I would love to see as a playable map is also going to be for small game modes, unfortunately. However, it is still really cool. The Emperor's throne room is host to an awesome lightsaber duel between Luke and Vader, as well as being the location where Vader redeems himself, saves Luke, and kills the Emperor all in one move. So it's definitely an iconic location from Return of the Jedi. It could be great for Heroes vs Villains, Hero Showdown, and even Blast if they could make it big enough and use maybe the elevator up and down. However, in case you guys can't tell, I am pretty excited for this Hero Showdown mode, and I think these small maps would be perfect for it. Getting into some Starfighter Assault, which is something I've actually neglected in the last two videos because I didn't think of it at the time, I think the Battle of Endor is a great place to start. The final scene where the Rebellion is attempting to hold off the Empire until Han can shut off the shields on the ground is a great space battle. The first phase could be on a timer or destroy a certain amount of ships, depending which side you were playing, and then the end phase could ultimately be the run through the Death Star that Lando and Nien Nunb make in the Millennium Falcon. I know Starfighter Assault isn't my most played game mode, I actually hardly ever play it, but I know there are a lot of people requesting more locations for it because they haven't added anything in a while. Speaking of Lando and Nien Nunb though, I believe they could also be added as a skin for the Millennium Falcon. Obviously keep the abilities the same as Han and Chewie's Falcon because it is the same thing, but record different voice lines to have conversations with Lando and Nien Nunb. I think some more diversity with ships would be really cool in Starfighter Assault and may just freshen it up for those people that main that game mode. As for a hero in Starfighter Assault, I think Wedge Antilles could be added to Starfighter, as he is mentioned quite a few times and shown on screen during the final run at the Death Star. He also had multiple other appearances through the first two movies as well, so it would be really cool to see him in Starfighter Assault. Switching pace and moving over to arcade mode, I definitely don't want to forget about our offline players. I think that the speeder bike chase could be a really fun mission to play on Endor, having either races or maybe tracking down and catching a certain amount of scout troopers while using speeder bikes could be really fun. They could add abilities like using Ewok reinforcements to set traps or jump from one speeder bike to another. I think it could be really exciting, and there's a lot of different things that they could do with that, and it would keep the offline community really happy. Also, taking a step back to Jabba's Palace, I think a Rancor hunt mode or Rancor battle could be really cool, not just for arcade but also for multiplayer. I don't know how they would make this work, but I have seen a lot of posts on social media surrounding different hunt modes ever since Ewok Hunt was announced, so I definitely think Rancors could be one of them. And finally, the biggest thing everyone wants from DLC is usually new heroes. So I think they could definitely add Nien Nunb for the light side. He was playable in 2015, and assuming they could use similar abilities in Battlefront 2, he could become a lot of people's go-to hero on certain open maps, especially like Crate and Hoth. In the past game, he had the pulse cannon and was even able to call in orbital strikes, which was insanely powerful, and I think if you gave him some type of buff ability in the middle, he could be really well balanced. Now for the dark side, it was a little bit harder to find a hero for them without getting into generals or commanders of the Empire, but I thought instead of a hero, why not add a reinforcement? The Emperor's Guards are some of the coolest looking characters that do essentially nothing in Star Wars. However, we know they can be badass, otherwise the Emperor wouldn't have them there. These guys were also in Battlefront 2015, so if they could put them in Battlefront 2, it would definitely be a great addition to the game, and we all know that we definitely need some more reinforcements. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for this speculation video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit the thumbs up and share it around with your friends. Also, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more Battlefront 2 videos, which will include news, updates, patch notes, and guides, as well as every other movie DLC speculation that I will be doing in the future. I'm going to get out of here guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I am the Twisted Jedi, and may the Force be with you always.